You realize that an average Nigerian student cannot speak or write good English. This is really a big issue. You see on social media how people mess up English, and then you wonder, did they even go to school? I saw one of recent. The lady wrote, the lady wrote, I'm happy for being a corpse, CORPSE, which is, and she was thanking God for going to the youth camp. You can imagine she messed it up, and it was a big issue. This issue has started and has continued over time. What do you think is the cause? Do you think it's the student? Do you think it's the government? Or do you think it's the teachers?
Anyway, the one you just said now, I will not use it against her because it might be either she wants to abbreviate it, or it's a minor mistake. I can't use that to judge her. Okay, it can happen to anybody. It might be typing error. But coming to what you just asked about academic qualification of students, that they can't be able to defend it. To me, I feel it's two ways. It's both school and the student as well. And most especially or importantly, foundation level. For the foundation level of any child is very, very important and is paramount. Once you miss it in nursery, primary school, you've missed it. And these days, our education level from primary school is an appalling. I'm talking of public schools. Before you be able to pay for a that high on quote standard or better primary school, you'll be talking of over 150, 200,000 or thereabouts in Lekki and other axes. But talk of those areas where we have less privileged, average and medium families that can't be able to afford it. I have to start to say now that our government also should equally look into most of the private schools people are opening these days. Because some of these private schools, some teachers, I would say, are not really teachers. Meaning that some of them did not go through teaching practice of those days. And because of lack of unemployment, lack of job, the labor market is full. A BSc holder can pick up a teaching job. Sure. Which you know that that BSc holder technically was not trained to be a teacher. I could remember those days we went to school. We know about TTC. I don't know if anybody here knows about TTC. TTC, Teachers Training College. Okay. We don't have that anymore. And Teachers Training College is basically for primary school and also secondary, I think so. So for me, that I know there's one in Nibonise, TTC Nibonise, properly in Anambra State. Okay. But those schools have been closed down by government.
They've been closed down?
Yes.
How many centuries now? Has it been a long time?
It has been quite a long time.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think we have to go back to drawing board. I mean the governments and also public schools. Because if you look at, in Lagos for example, public schools, let me just say, private schools are more than public schools. Yes. Everybody wants to open school. Their target is not basically to get those children. Their target is money.
Money, yes.
Their target is money. Some teachers, I am sorry to say this, is not qualified. My mother is a class teacher, raised to a headmistress. She was actually my primary 3 teacher. Wow. My dad was a headmaster. Those days, I'm talking of 70s and 80s. So, yes, so I want to tell you that their sacrifice is nothing to write home about. They are very, very eager and always to teach, even with little amounts. Those days, my mom would pick will I say the average children in the class to give them free lesson.
That doesn't happen these days. Everybody is about money.
It doesn't happen these days. So their sacrifice is just too much, was too much then. So these days you hardly see that. Our public school, that's why I said it's both ways. Once you get the foundation, once from primary school, that child, you impact that knowledge in that child, the child grows with it. That is why in some children in these high brown schools, they are better.
Sure. But I also want to pinpoint something. You know, public schools. I remember people, you have parents that put their children in public schools, then they put them for evening lessons. What do you think about that too? Is that not meant to polish them to complement the public school?
No. The thing is that you're even overstretching that child. Because after the day, the child wakes up some 5 o'clock. Some are as early as 4:30 to start preparing for school. And that child is meant to close maybe 2 o'clock. Then due to lack of hardship in the country, mother is working, father is working, they will leave that child for like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, because you just put that child in the lesson to be able to wait for you till you finish, close from your work and pick that child. And tomorrow again, the child wake up again 4:30 or 5 o'clock to start. There's no rest. The brain is not functioning well. You think you are doing that child good. Actually, you're not doing that child good. You are doing yourself good. Because you know you can't be able to cope, shuttle between your office, pick the child, go back to your office and all that. So they have to compulsorily register that child for after school lesson.
So you would say that instead of putting that child in an after school lesson for the psychological well-being and mental well-being of the child, it is better you should gather that money together and put the child in the private school.
You know, the thing is that what amazes me is that during those days we went to school, I went to public school, village public school for that matter, and the children of these days are not that better than us. Do you understand? So you now ask yourself, because that time we close by 1 o'clock. In fact, we start closing by 12. That's government, federal government. Yes, we start closing by 12.
You get to school for 8.
Yeah, you go to school 8 o'clock. You get to school 8 o'clock. We close 12. From 12, they move to 12:30. From 12, I think I closed last 1 o'clock. That was when I was in primary school. Now they close 2, 3. And parents will extend it to 5, 6 for the child to wait until he or she closes from office to come and pick that child. And when we get home, we play. You know, we play, stretch ourselves and all that. We do some minor work at home and that, and go back to lesson. But these days, these children, they don't have that, but they don't benefit at all, because parents are struggling to make ends meet. To be able to raise that money, that 150 and 200,000, as the case may be in different schools, to pay their school fees. So I think if we have adequate public school and teachers can help us to go back to old school days, things will be better.
You can hear, and I absolutely agree. Parents, please stop stressing your children. It's for your own good. You're hustling for the child, definitely. Yeah. So why don't you stop it and make sure?
I also want to add that some parents also should mind the kind of people that move with their children, because it also affects the child's academic. When the child come back from school, they throw their bag outside, went to where the mother is selling, and start playing and playing and playing. In fact, let me tell you honestly, I just pray that our children, God will help them, because at times if I close from work and I'm in the market buying things, I will see children, their mother with their supermarket and all that thing, they are teaching their children lesson inside the shop with the noise. One hand you are holding the child's hand, one hand you are attending to a customer. So how would that child learn? So the problem is two ways. It's both parents, students, and where I will blame students is when they get to secondary school and the university. Because when they are in primary school, they are still under the perfect, they should be under the perfect care of their parents. The mother should be able to mold that child very well. But when a child gets to secondary school, she should be able to read on her own. So the foundation you give that child from primary school, that will make that child to sit down by herself and read. Secondary school, yes, and read. But you see, most at times they don't do it. So I blame those in secondary school for not reading adequately to make sure they meet up with their academic. Then in primary school, I said foundation, the teachers, I blame them more. But in secondary school, I blame especially the teachers, the students, then the teachers.
So even after having a basic foundation, make sure you also develop yourself in the secondary school.